Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai Hashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. Shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson on February the 13th, Sunday night. And this is a news article I'm about to bring out for the sit-down lesson. And this is from the Jerusalem Post. And this is published 8 hours ago, February the 13th, 2022. And the highlight of this news article reads, it says, Ukraine receives anti-aircraft missiles from Lithuania. It says Ukraine on Sunday receives a co-assignment of Stinger anti-craft missile systems and ammunition planned by Lithuanian and defense ministries in Kyiv said. Early on Sunday, the two other planes delivered about 180 tons of ammunition for the United States Defense Minister Oski Rishkanov said Ukraine had so far received about 1,500 tons of ammunition delivered on 17 flights, he said on Twitter. It says military officials say Ukraine has significantly strengthened its army forces with the help of allies equipping the army, particularly with American and British anti-tank systems and Turkish drones. The United States and its allies says Russia could invade at any moment. Russia, which has more than 100,000 troops near the Ukraine, denies having any such plan. So, after I was reading this article right here about, Ukraine receives the anti-aircraft missiles from Ukraine, especially with the immense ongoing tensions with the Ukraine border crisis. And you see Ukraine have all these allies, including the United States and the EU, 7 countries, and Poland and Latvia and Lithuania and Great Britain, with the help assistance from them, showing their strong alliance ties to them and their fully support of Ukraine, amending the current tensions of the Ukraine border, and Russia keep on denying the fact that they are not going to invade the Ukraine border, and this stirs up potential war, between Russia and the EU countries, what's allies with Ukraine, because Russia, they have allies as well too, potentially North Korea, potentially Iran, potentially China as well too, and many other ally-backed countries that's down with Russia, especially China, and Iran as well too, and you could throw in North Korea. And those potentially allied partners with Russia, So, Russia has potentially allies as well too, And I believe Russia is allies with the Syrian government, so that's another ally as well with that as well too, And these going into the nation shall rise against nations and the kingdom against kingdoms, And I'm about to bring that out, This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7, and it reads, "For nation shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdoms. And there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And these are the beginning of sorrows." Right. So, after bringing these two scriptures out right here, Matthew 24 and 7, and then do verse 8, the increase, like I mentioned before in my previous videos, the increase of the nations going against one another in the tag team mode aspect. You got these other teams over here going against one another, and then the other opposing teams against one another as well too. It's like a fatal four-way tag team match, you know, and in the kingdom against kingdoms, and increasingly going against one another, as you see in that as well too, with the military build-ups, the vocal shots they taking at one another. Like you got the others saying that they gonna invade this place, and then you got the others denying the fact they not gonna invade. So you got those, that's what you call wars and rumors of wars. Those you hear on a daily basis in the news, and then you got rumors of wars that's come a reality as well too, as you hear it every day in the news, in the media, news articles and such, social media platforms and everything like that, as you hear these news articles in the news on a daily basis, And, but other than that, that's all I wanted to bring out. Staying updated on the news, that's what our job is supposed to do. Being the watchman of Israel, watching these prophecies, watching these things in the news to back up the scriptures of these news articles that's biblical prophecies. Because, this is the current times that we are in. These things such you hear in the news, either it's a rumor or a rumor of a war that's coming reality. Earthquakes in diverse places, upwards of the people. That's why we be on our watch, because being the men of the Lord, which is the Israelites, which is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled bird Israelites as well too. Definitely that's in this truth. We on that watchtower, to watch things that's in the news, and then we do lessons on it, and then we back it up with the scriptures. We be on the highways and byways, through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely, And so with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, of great millstone, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. Shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And I hope this was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, I will say, shalom.